Good morning. Today's Saturday 7. Yeah, I'm gonna go back into this the temptation and fall of man, Genesis 6. God want me to explain a little more. Cause people might just be lost, like with what I'm saying, but let me break this down. And then it's Saturday 7, so woo! I'm more spiritual on Saturday. I'm finna do this. I don't really have a lot of time, so I'm trying to help you up do this now. So it's like the temptation and fall of man, chapter 3 of Genesis. It say, now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field, which the Lord God had made. And he said to the woman, has God indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent. So now Satan, he's propositioning where he's going before Eve. And what he's doing is placing a spirit of doubt. Yeah, I'm back. My video just went completely out. It said I ain't got no storage. The enemy be easy. With me speaking on this, I be having so many technical problems. I'm back. Okay, so basically with this right here, Satan is creating a spirit of doubt before Eve. So Satan, who's very cunning, very smart, very intelligent, he go before Eve and he asks her, he said, has God indeed said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? He asked her like a question like, are you sure you can't eat everything here? And Eve, like I said, she never directly spoke to God about the garden and what to eat. She really going by hearsay because Adam is the one that told her you can't eat of this tree. We not supposed to eat of this tree right here. So her direct covenant was never with God. So he using that to create this spirit of doubt in her. So because she didn't directly hear him, I could see her possibly saying, well, dog, what did God say? You know, somebody tell you something and it's secondhand and you don't really know word for word. That's why I hate secondhand information. I hate secondhand information. Like if a manager or somebody got something to say, do not tell me through another employee. Tell me directly so I know word for word what's going on. Because when a person, like when another employee come to me with, ooh, the manager said this and this is what we supposed to be doing, it create a spirit, it create a gray area. Because I don't really know word for word what was told to you and I don't know what you telling me. So it creates this gray area. So Satan, he basically just using this gray area because if Eve would have went and spoke directly to God, she would have been like, no, God said I can't eat that. But her directives came from Adam. And he's the one that told her not to eat that. And as you see, God, Satan never went to Adam and said, are you sure? Because see, Adam knew better. That's why he didn't go to Adam. Adam knew better. So Adam know for sure that God said, I can't eat that fruit because God personally spoke to him. It was understood. Now with Eve and her receiving this secondhand information from Adam, hearsay, between the conversation he had with God, now she looking like, well, dog, I'm told not to eat this, but I'm not sure though. Like, this is what they telling me I can and can't do. But she's still going by hearsay. It was just handed down to her, this information. Okay, so then it say, and the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the tree of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, you shall not eat it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. Then the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die. For God knows that in that day you eat of it, your eyes will be open and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. So now he's just telling her that because she only knew good. So when she say die, in her mind, she never experienced death, so she don't know. So she, in her mind, like I said, she's still processing everything this is good. Even if it's bad, she's still processing it, this is good. And Satan, he just twisting, which he does. He twisting God's words and twisting what she's telling him. And that's what he do. That's why a lot of times when I do these videos, I say what I say. I'm not going to sit down and do 10 different translations of what I mean when I said what I said. Because people would take your words and they'll just take it out of context. That's Satan though. That's what Satan do. He take out anything you say. He's going to take it out of context and it's going to mean something completely different because that's what Satan do. He twists words. That's one of his strategies. So right here, he twisting the words and he's saying, you will surely not die. So basically he's saying God lying. God is a liar. You ain't going to die. And then it's saying, then the serpent said to the woman, yeah, I read that. So when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise. She took of its fruit and ate. She also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. Then the eyes of them both were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves coverings. So, in her mind, she's still she got to see the good in it. So even though it's bad, she's still, in her mind, and just trying to condition herself that this is good. Don't we do that? Don't we know stuff is bad, but we still not mind just trying to make good out of it? Like we try to make excuses for it, for the bad, by thinking of the good on certain stuff that go on that we do and certain things that's going on. That's what she doing with this fruit. Like she still, even though she knows she not supposed to do it, in her mind, she's just trying to make good out of it. Well, I ain't supposed to do this, but it's good for food. It's going to make me wise. And it look good. Satan going to get you with the looks, y'all. Be careful with it. Satan is going to make whatever it is, he going to make it more appealing. Sometimes, like when he tempts you, he going to make whatever it is more appealing. In the physical, with the flesh. Okay. And that's what he did with her and his fruit. And that's what he do with us. So be careful with with being attracted and being drawn to how certain things look. Just be real careful with that right there. Okay. So then it say, and they heard the sound of the Lord walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord among the trees of the garden. Then the Lord called Adam and said to him, "Where are you?" So he said, "I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid myself." He said, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat?" Then the man said, "The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me she gave me of the tree and I ate." It's your fault, God, because this woman that you gave, this woman gave it to me, so I'm blaming you. Don't men do that. They don't have no accountability. It's everybody's fault but they own. Okay, baby, that's what he doing right here. No accountability. He knew directly what he was supposed to do, not supposed to do. It ain't nobody's fault. If you have a direct conversation with God and God say, "Do not do this," and you do it anyway, it ain't no excuse. You can't blame her, because, man, you had a covenant. And our covenant was established that you're not supposed to touch that fruit. But see, you decide to go and do what you want to do. And then now you don't even want to take accountability for it. You ain't even trying to take accountability for this. And it say, then the man said, okay. And the Lord God said to the woman, "What is this you have done?" The woman said, "The serpent deceived me and I ate." So at least she admitted it. At least she said, yeah, I was deceived and tricked. And I ate the fruit, but she's not going around blaming everybody. She's kind of holding herself accountable for what happened. Yeah, I was deceived. And the serpent tricked me, and I ate the fruit. Whereas you see, Adam, he up there, you gave me this woman. Yeah, man, you had a covenant, but the woman that you gave me, because she gave me this fruit, like he supposed to be the head, and supposed to tell her no. He the one telling her she ain't supposed to eat the fruit, so how? He the one gave her the directive not to eat the fruit. So if she come back with him with the fruit, he should have, how you going to just take the fruit that he telling her not to eat? And then blame her because he chose to eat it. Okay. So, the Lord God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all cattle, more than any beast of the field. On your belly you shall go, and you shall eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman." So, I feel like that's why. It's the friction with God, with Satan and women. "And between your seed and her seed, and he shall bruise your head, and you shall bruise his heel." So even with this type of curse, and it's really just birthing, like bringing life to the world with this curse. Like God just said, through the seed of a woman. So Satan already know to attack, that Satan already know what's going on. He already know. He know God finna come through the flesh. He know God got to come through the flesh now. God didn't have to do that at first. But now God got to be birthed into this world. And so to the woman he said, "I will greatly multiply your sorrow and your conception. In pain you shall bring forth children. Your desire shall be for your husband, and he shall rule over you." Okay, right here it said, "I will multiply your sorrow and your conception." So, you know, a lot of us women, you know, us watching like our kids die and just all of what's going on. It's just like women, we bear a lot of sorrow. Like we just take on a lot of sorrow, believe it or not. Especially watching the death of our kids. Like this just gonna be a very sad tragedy. And then right here it say, your desire should be for your husband and he should rule over you. So like I said in the other video, if this say your desire should be for your husband and he should rule over you, her original desire was not to her husband. Her original desire was not to Adam. And this is before chaos. So this is the way it was supposed to be set up. Her desires was not to be to her husband. And he was not to rule over her. Because after the curse, they say now your desire should be for your husband and he should rule over you. So that means at a certain point in this timeline, her desires was not to her husband and he did not rule over her. Okay. So right here, and then it say, then to Adam he said, because you have heeded the voice of your wife and have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying you should not eat of it, cursed is the ground for your sake. So God said, the ground is just cursed. It's cursed for your sake. And toil, you should eat of it. And all the days of your life, both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you. And you shall eat the herb of the field, and the sweet sweat of your face you shall eat the bread, till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, from dust you are, and to dust you shall return. And Adam called his wife name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. Okay, so basically, they say, then the Lord said, behold, the man has become like one of us, and us is capitalized. And it say, to know both good and evil. And now lest he put out his hand and take up also of the tree of life and eat forever. Therefore the Lord sent him out of the garden. So when God was talking, he was talking about God. Right here when he said he will become like one of us, he talking about God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit. They all up there with him. So he's talking to them saying, okay, now he like us. Because now he know good and evil. Because at first it was no evil. Okay, so basically this right here, with this new, but now it's a new covenant established. Because like I said, if it's a curse for a man, and like I said, it's a curse for a man to lead over you, and he flawed just like you. You're dealing with duality. Either God, and I'm going to say Jesus is the head, or Satan is the head. It's one or the other. It's no in between. It's either one or the other. And so when you got this man, if he not being led by God, he being led by Satan. A man that's not led by God, led by Jesus, he can't lead me. Period. Because if I'm with a man and he's not led by God, he's led by Satan. And that's the curse that just come with it. So if you in these relationships and you pick somebody that's not of God, and you pick somebody that don't love God, that's not God-fearing, that don't put Jesus first, you're going to deal with the curse of that. You women. You're going to deal with the curse of this person not loving God, not putting God first. Like, there's just going to be a curse for you to put yourself under that type of authority. Under somebody that don't put God first, that don't love God, that don't love Jesus. You're going to be the byproduct of that. Because if he don't love God, he don't put God first, he don't put Jesus first, that means Satan is his God. So you're going to deal with a person that's Satan, then whoever you with, and then you got to be under their authority. You're going to have to be under their authority. So when you out here, you're going to have to pick wisely. You're going to have to pick wisely because you're under submission of this person. Like, you just under submission of this person. So under the new covenant, the man's supposed to put Jesus. If he put Jesus and God first, he'll know how to treat you and do you right. But if he don't put God or Jesus first, you're going to deal with the curse that come with it. Because he putting Satan first. And your relationship is just going to be blood. And I ain't no man. I'm not even finna put myself in a position to give my authority to a man that don't put God first. So God got to be first in their life. Jesus got to be first in their life. I'm not giving my authority to a man that puts Satan first. Because you're going to have hell on earth. That man going to take you down through the mud. He going to take you down through there. If you ain't out here and you ain't picking wisely out here, and you decide to get up with somebody that don't put God first, don't put Jesus first, and according to the law according to the Bible, you got to submit to your man. So in order for this order or this structure of what God got to work, that man got to put God first. He got to put Jesus first, God first. If he put Jesus first, God first, he going to know how to love you. But if he don't put God or Jesus first, he not going to know how to love you. And Satan going to have his way with their relationship. Satan is going to have his way with their relationship. So be real wise with these men that you decide to be with. And if you don't know, if you can't, like, as far as picking nothing else out, pick somebody that's God-fearing. Pick somebody that love Jesus. I ain't talking about no religious demon. On these people that just go to church and you just like, ooh, he go to church. And then he ain't doing nothing, like, it's nothing in him that's reflective of God other than he go to church. He got a religious demon on him. Find somebody that truly love God out here. That truly love Jesus out here. They accept God. That's really out here doing it. And you're going to have a good relationship. But if you pick otherwise, you're going to deal with the curse of it. So you're gonna feel and see what it is when a man is God-fearing as opposed to a man that's not God-fearing. Like, you're going to see it. You're going to be dealing with it. Because Satan is going to have his way and he's going to tear that relationship up left and right. So, yeah, be real careful, like, with who you pick and stuff like that. But even then, if you pick what you pick, Satan still going to tempt it, especially, like, kingdom marriages and stuff like that. Like, Satan, he going to do everything he can to stop these kingdom marriages and stuff. And what God appointed, he's there to tear it down. Because he don't want people to see the goodness of God in a real God-filled relationship. Like, a God-filled relationship. That's a powerful relationship. That's a powerful power couple right there. If you got somebody that's God-fearing, put Jesus first, and his woman in alignment, they're gonna be making some moves out here. But Satan, he here to create chaos, especially with relationships, especially destroying, like, kingdom marriages and stuff like that. That's something that it get under his skin. But I'm going to let y'all go. But I really was just doing this video just to speak on the marriage part and on the submission part. And yeah, the Bible do say you're supposed to submit to your husband. and they say, the Bible do say you're supposed to submit to your husband. So you got to pick wisely. So if you supposed to submit to your husband, and your husband is not, like, in alignment with God, in alignment with Christ out here, y'all both just walking off a cliff. Y'all both just basically just walking off a cliff out here. So you be careful. You be real wise. Like, you got to use wisdom when it comes to deciding who you want to lead you out here. And you got to have some spiritual wisdom, because this person going to have to have some kind of spiritual knowledge to guide you and protect you. Because that's going to be your protection. That's your covering. Your husband, that's your covering. But till your husband come, Christ is your covering. So right now, if you single or whatever, Christ is your covering. But once you get married, then that roll over to your husband and he become your covering. So you pick wisely. Like, you can't pick nobody that don't pray and don't do all this and don't do that. And you probably be under your husband, but he don't even pray. He ain't even got a cover. He don't even know how to put a covering over you. Like, you got to be real wise when picking these men out here. You got to be wise because you got to realize what all is wrapped up in this. Like, you got your spiritual covering wrapped up in this. And if he don't have if he not with Christ, and he can't pray for you, pray over you, and that's your covering, that's your protection out here, yeah, it's going to be kind of rough. It's going to be kind of rough out here. So, God know the chaos that's going on. Like, God just know this chaos. I just say to be wise. And me personally, I'm not going to let a man that's not God-filled, that don't have a love for Christ, don't have a love for God, he can't lead me. Like, I'm not giving no authority to no man that don't put God first. Like, he got to put God first. And once he put God first, I fall in line. But if he ain't putting God first, ain't no way I'm going to let a man that don't put God first lead me. Because he going to lead me straight down the cliff, and that ain't finna happen. So, y'all enjoy y'all day, and y'all be safe. Also, I was speaking on everything is contaminated. And I'm just talking about everything that we like take in. You have to, and our body is a temple. So God do want us to try to just the best we can pray over stuff going on, certain stuff we can't even control. Like we can't even control it. Like my kids, even when they watch cartoons, I tell them everything God don't like about the cartoon. I'm like, you can watch it, but I don't want you watching this cartoon blind. I'm like, you gonna watch it, but you gonna see, I'm finna tell you everything that God don't like about this cartoon. So you can watch it still, but at least you know the reason and what's wrong with these cartoons. And a lot of kids' cartoons, they have witchcraft in it very early. Almost all the cartoons is gonna be some form of witchcraft attached to it. So like my kids, they might watch My Little Pony. So they might sit there and watch My Little Pony. I was like, well, you know God don't like My Little Pony. Like, you know this. Like, I'm just going to tell you why. But it's no way really to avoid it. Like, it's no way to avoid it. But if you woke, your mind is just open to what's going on. So I just like, if we watch a movie or something, I tell them every single thing that's wrong with the movie. Because that's what God do to me. When God get through with me, my flesh, I just be like, let me cut this off. When God get to tell me every single thing wrong with the movie, like he'll sit there and just tell me everything wrong with the movie, I'll be sitting there and like, okay, like this wrong. Like by the time I get through hearing it, I be God, he gonna ruin the movie. Like he gonna just like, no. Like when he get through doing what he do, I don't even want to watch the movie no more. I just cut the TV off. So I'm speaking on when I was talking about the music and stuff, how everything contaminated, but like with the movies, My Little Pony. And I do that with my kids. I'm like, okay, you want to watch this, My Little Pony? I said, I got to tell you everything. My job to tell you everything that's wrong with this movie. But I got to tell you all the reasons why God do not want you to watch this, why God say something is wrong with My Little Pony. I said, first, they use a lot of witchcraft in this movie. A lot of witchcraft is used in this My Little Pony. I said, you see how they doing all this magic? They call it magic. I said, but it's really witchcraft. So I said, God don't like the witchcraft. And I said, My Little Pony is full of witchcraft. I said, the second thing about My Little Pony is that they all about, friends. We can be friends, making friends. Your friends is going to be what destroy you in the real world. Your friends are going to be what tempt you and cause you to do all kind of drugs. Most of the stuff that you do and you exposed to and you introduce to is going to be through a friend. A friend is going to have a stronger relationship. Like they say, your peer pressure is stronger than your parents. Like your parents can raise you up in this house all your life. And once you get around other peers, they can pressure you to do what you've been taught. 10 years, you could be under your mama wing. As soon as you get around friends and this desire to just want friends, Satan used it. A lot of times kids be introduced because they friend bring what? They friend be like, because they friends ain't on their level. So you got friends and they not on your level. They gonna introduce you to weed. They might be like, "Ooh, here, pop this pill. Ooh, here go a gummy weed, like what they call edible." Like they gonna be like, "Here go some drink." Like it's gonna be through your friends. They gonna use your friends to tempt you. So when you watch TV, and I tell my kid, when you watch TV and they speak friend, I said, no, your sister is your friend. Your sister that's your best friend right there. Because anybody on the outside, they going to bring you down. Like, Satan going to just use them. So, this unity with friends, I don't really push that with my kids. I don't push unity with friends with my kids, but in all these shows, they try to push, ooh, your friend. You need a friend. Have a friend. That's just Satan. Satan wants you to think you need a friend, so that's who he going to use to bring you down. And he gonna do it young. And it's gonna be through a friend. A friend gonna introduce you to some. Your mom say you can't do this. Your friend gonna say, well, yes, you can. Your friend gonna be the one. Like that's who it's gonna be. That's gonna be your partner in crime out here. Satan gonna use your friend to do that. Your friend gonna be the one influencing you to do all that. So I don't push friends with my kids. Like I just don't push friends with my kids. I really don't even push outside family. It really just be the intermediate family, like your sisters. Really, it just be your sisters, really. Because any everything else Satan can use as a weapon. So, at least if you in the same household and you got the same upbringing, it's more stabilized, so to speak. But you go outside of it, then woo, you're going to have to just be strong out here because you're going to be tempted. Even the kids going to be tempted out here. They got to deal with temptation too. That's just part of us and our spiritual growth. And us getting through our temptation is just spiritually, we just develop and grow It just make us more stronger spiritually. Like the temptations and stuff that we go through and we pass the test, it just make us spiritually strong. And so me, even though I was speaking on like the Sexyy Red and listening to the secular, that's only for people who just feel like the music that they listen to is way better than the secular music. Cause you got the Christian artists that go to the BET Awards. You got the Christian artists that's showing up at the Diddy parties. So what's the difference? Like, what's the difference between that person listening to My Her Red, listening to Sexyy Red, and you got Kirk Franklin that's hosting the whole BET Award? Like, what's the difference between the two? So you feel comfortable. You don't have no conviction, nothing, that you shouldn't even be listening to this person. But you can judge everybody else for what they doing. But the Christian artists you listen to, you know, you don't have no conviction whatsoever that this music is corrupt. Like, you have no conviction, but you got but it's on you to send judgment to other people for what they listening to. But ain't nothing came on you about what you doing, though. God said get the plywood out your eye first. Then you can kind of tell other people what they need to do. Okay, so I say all that to say, I really don't indulge in the flesh too much. Because God won't let me. Like, he just gonna ruin the moment. Like, I could be sitting there watching. Sometimes I watch, like, now I'm just down to the point where I might watch, like, Captain America. Like, I might sit there and watch like some Marvel comics, like the little superhero. But those ain't number falling angels. So I'm sitting there, God, like, well, you know them is gods, Lord KG. So while I'm sitting there, God ain't gonna let me watch nothing. Like, everything I watch, he gonna tell me everything wrong with it. I took my kids to see Minecraft. Because they want to, you know, they like Jet Black. They love Jet Black. So they were like, oh, Mom, we want to go see Minecraft. So I took them to see Minecraft. It was even something wrong with Minecraft. Minecraft, they were just pushing a lot of, like, to me, like, homosexual, like, situations. Like, you got two men, two women, but when they separate, you got the women, they got to fight for themselves because they separated, they together. So you got these women that got to just kind of, like, protect and just jump into their character and role to defend themselves. You don't have the men really defending the women. They got to, because they separated, got to figure it out and fight for themselves to try to get through. You got these two men, and it just seemed like they were just putting them in all these, like, homosexual positions. Like, you might have, like, they was on the train, little cart, and then you got two men got to be butt on each other. Like, they just so tight, they just like smushed all on top of each other. Then one scene, you got two men, you know, he got his flying wings, but the other man forgot his flying wings, so he got to straddle the man to ride through the skies and stuff like that. Like, God showed me everything wrong. I ain't tell my kids that, though. I ain't tell my kids what I was wrong with Minecraft. But while I'm sitting there watching Minecraft, God would tell me everything wrong with the movie. Like, he'll sit there and I just be like, and then when God get through, I just be like, okay. God is not going to let me sit there and watch a movie and not tell me everything that's wrong with the movie. Everything that I watch, he's going to tell me everything that's wrong. Everything that I listen to, he's going to tell me everything that's wrong. And that's just what he do. He just gonna tell me. So I'm not listening to the music blind. I'm not watching the TV blind. Like, I'm actually woke watching the whole show because he's gonna tell me every single thing that's possibly wrong. I do that with my kids. I'm like, look, God said you can't watch this right here. And this why you can't watch this right here. I tell My Little Pony, okay, all that witchcraft, they call it magic and they make it look fun. I said, but that's witchcraft and God don't like witchcraft. You can't do witchcraft. It's bad. Okay, Smurfs. I said, you got a wizard, which is Papa Smurf and wizard. Like, he's a wizard. So he mixing up potions. He doing what he do. I said, it's full of it's full of magic. It's full of witchcraft. Anything that's full of witchcraft, God do not like it. And when I look at all them cartoons, like 99%, the kids is exposed to witchcraft through the cartoons. And they don't even know it. So they exposed to this witchcraft, this black magic, this magic early on. Like, they just exposed to it. So I just tell my kids everything that's wrong. But it's almost impossible to separate and just find something that is like absolutely nothing wrong with nothing. Like, it's just impossible. Like, it's just a duality. Everything just mix and blend together. You got the secular and you got the Christian, and everything is just kind of combined and mixed together. You might have a secular Like that movie, The House of David, which I had spoke to y'all about, which is full of lies. They use a secular person to create this movie that's supposed to be based on the Bible, a very famous person that's in the Bible. They said, well, we're not going to use a Christian person to do this. We're not going to even use historians to do this. We're going to use a person of the world to make this person that's in the Bible, and we don't even want to be religious when they get done with it. So when I watched it, it reminded me of Gladiator, but I just had to cut it off because I would have to go back through and I would have to remove every single lie. And I don't want to remove every single lie from their movie, so I just decided not to watch their movie because I would have to go through and dissect this movie to say, okay, this really happened in the Bible, this did not happen in the Bible. That really happened in the Bible, okay. You know, their mom get eaten up by a lion, that did not happen in the Bible. Like, I would have to go through and actually dissect every single thing. Because you have that lie planted in your subconscious. And the only way to destroy a lie is with the truth. The truth shall set you free. So a lot of times when people in bondage, sometimes all you need is the truth. And the truth will set you free. Like when you in these relationships and you in bondage to these relationships and you a slave to these relationships, all you need is the truth. Okay, he cheating. Once you get the evidence that he cheating, the truth will set you free. The truth will hurt, but the truth will set you free. A lot of times, all people really need is the truth out here. The truth will set them free. That's what the Bible says. The truth will set you free. So if you're in bondage, look for the truth out here. If you're in some type of bondage, seek the truth. Because the truth will set you free. You're going to find a lot of stuff you don't want to find, though. So if you ready for the truth, if you ready to just be like, I need to know what I need to know, okay. Start digging for the truth so you can be set free from whatever you got going on, relationships and all. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to let y'all go. But God really wanted me to speak on this hierarchy that set up this spiritual hierarchy. People, they want to be under the submission of a man. But if this man do not, if God is not the head of this man cannot lead you. Basically, that's all I'm saying so much. If God is not the head of this man, if Jesus Christ is not the head of this man, it's no way that man can lead you. So if you choose to, through your free will, to submit to a man that's not being led by God, not being led by the Holy Spirit, you're going to be dealing with hell on earth. You're going to be dealing with hell on earth because the man not going to know how to love you. So if you get a man that's God-fearing, that's really like walking the walk, and you really got to dig for that. Because it's a lot of deception with people. A lot of these men, they say, you know, they love Christ, but you got to look at their actions. Like, do they really love Christ? Because even that's a deception. So, I just said, be real wise when you picking somebody that you're going to submit yourself to. So, that's it. Just be real wise with picking these men that you got to be under submission to out here. Because ain't no man, I ain't even finna submit, I ain't even finna put myself in a position to submit to a man that don't put Christ first. Like, I'm not even finna submit to that. I'm not even finna submit to a man and we both walking off a cliff out here. Like, I'm not even finna put myself in a position to just fall and submit to nothing like that. Like, he gotta be God-fearing. God know what he got for me. God said he got something bad for me. So I ain't really pressed about none of it. I ain't really pressed about none of it. But, yeah, like, be real wise, you women. Yeah, you quick to say, yeah, my man, my man, my man. But if that man ain't got Christ and that man don't put God first, and you up there fighting, and you in this like covenant with this man that ain't got God first in your life, and he head over you, and he's supposed to be your covering, your protection, your spiritual covering, your protection. He can't even pray for you. And you got to have protection too out here. Like, you praying for your kids and stuff, because you the covering over your kids, so you praying for your kids, but you got to have somebody praying and covering you out here. Women, you got to have that covering over you. And your husband supposed to be that covering over you, but if he ain't walking right out here, he ain't got God as head, he ain't got Christ as head, and you want him to be your head, okay, to you women. Y'all be real wise with that now. Be real wise with picking these men out here. Because if you pick the wrong one, you're going to be stuck with them. Like, you just going to be stuck with them. Like, through your free will, God not going to get in there. Through your free will, you got to deal with it. So, if you don't figure out nothing else going on with the man, at least figure out if he God-fearing and he love Christ. Because at one point or another, that man going to have to lead you. So how is he going to lead you? And he ain't even being led right. So you don't want no man filled with Satan leading you. Because there's going to be a lot of abuse and everything else going on in that relationship. So you just be real wise out here, women. Through your free will. Because God not going to interfere with it. With picking these men out here. You got to dig a little deeper now. You see Eve. Ooh, it looked good. It was good to the eye. You better do more than be going for looks out here. Because ain't going to get you every time. Okay, y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day.